Hello, welcome to 4 Stars Radio and TV and GA Smart News TV. I've come your way today for a very quick one, a very quick one. And you know, I am deeply worried. I'm deeply worried because things are not going right. There is so much hardship in the country. Yes, no doubt about it. Not only Ghana, several other places, hardship is ongoing all over the world. I have friends in the UK, I have relatives there, I have friends in the US. So it's not only in Ghana, but it's looking like Ghana's situation is very peculiar and we need to talk about it. But that is not what I'm talking about. My worries stem from the fact that the young ones at DBI Kase, and the future leaders now, they are beginning to lose faith in themselves. First, they've lost faith in the system. Now they are beginning to lose faith in themselves, and that is a big worry. I'm going to share a story with you why I am very worried. This is something that we need to address as quickly as possible. I know it's an take you one day to address this, but we need to start from somewhere. Yesterday, I was coming from Kaswa, because I had Kaswa, and I'm a Trotrum Bibefi. On the way, we met a lot of traffic. Traffic conditions, are very hectic. And oftentimes, a basa, one thing that came up, ewo Ghana ewo Africa especially because niyama ewo Africa aduane a yedi ntade a yehye mpaboa a yehye chese bibia ewo Africa everything Africa. I'm speaking in terms of Africa because this is not an issue that affects Ghana alone, but in some African countries be honoma one way to me enya belief be ewo niyama omoyemu, so people patronize it. But I'm talking in terms of Ghana. The youth, especially the young ones, are beginning to lose faith in the things that we produce in Ghana. Okay? In Komodiemwa, I was sitting in the front of this printer bus. Nipa Otri bus, driver, he is fairly a young person. Means to say, if you are 30 years, and that's why I'm very worried. The reason why I'm doing this video. Okay? The issue was about Kantanka Kasa. Why? And the fact is Ghana phobia travel by land from Ghana to the UK and back one more entity for Kantanka car uncle. And I told the guy and some other young passengers in the vehicle said it wasn't like Omentimi and Fanko, but the approach in fact there was a miscommunication. So that's the reason why I use you foreign cars like Toyota and other vehicles but that notwithstanding, they felt to say Kantanka cars ain't mean travel from Ghana to the UK. Now I asked the driver, who was actually the one making the lot noise, say Kantanka cars what should be paying? Or see there be what should be paying? Or see there be by only in some my account who be indicates a car no and your papa name to me and phobia and comedy. And I was like, how can you wake up and discount something you haven't tried? You don't know. Also, the second I had any, you be and your papa. I tried to convince him, say, Ebeya, before he makes such an argument, only can and try the kono. And I say, only a little bit research into whatever he's talking about. But obviously, I realized, excuse me and for saying what I'm going to say. Say, and yet intelligence, but that kind of say the literacy level no ever form. Addition here, school here. Jettori be say will be a kasasa. Utiene kasa. You need to gauge his level of literacy, and you get to know reasons why they are saying this. But as much as I tried to convince him, he wasn't budging. He was of the view say. Right? And it is worrying because in Komodiemuna the issue about a mukra yediwa Ghana, a local rice. One of the passengers who's also a fairly young guy, ever say a mukra yediwa Ghana, no crane tujimi, Yamone papa. na yemono se onwa na yetudwumi ye nye bibia papa. And I was like, your local rice will be say I am a DB. Brebe na DB. Oh, I check there, but send your sanity. And I was like, look, my discount it and I am discouraging people from buying our own produce because I buy very detrimental to our progress. And me worry no, and they say those who are making these arguments, young people who has the energy that can be used to push the nation forward. I'm not making these arguments, and that is worrying. Okay, my wife, nurse me. But aside of that, producing liquid soaps. She has a small business, a small company, cancer company, a small business, a registered business. Will produce liquid soap, produce parazones. You name it, hand sanitizers, and all of those things, bar soap, powdered soap, and those kind of things. And she gets orders. Orders from big hospitals, and they buy from her. And you ask yourself, say, if Niamana all producing, and your papa, do you think hospitals will buy from my wife, even though she is producing locally? And then, yes, some other people bring those things from outside. Omo import if we are butchering the back country. Sometimes I wonder why we still import those things into the country, because say yetimi ye biwaha ana ye biwaha na ye that good. I see no reason why we should be buying those things already prepared from outside. Maybe raw materials here debano, base any caustic soda no nyama e dey say produce any be a import, because we don't produce them in Ghana here. And see the same money be a bar. That's okay. But to bring the finished products, if you are butchery at the banner, I think say policy makers also agree with you. Quite recently, just about 2 years ago, and former Nigerian president Buhari banned the importation of rice. Ghana need former member of parliament for Abraham Jumo Odum and leading in this drive to produce local rice in Nigeria. Ghana knew Abraham Jumo Odum. I will show you a video of what he did. The initiative, no name consortiums, any businessmen become what it produced for the Nigerian government and the people, where they became rice sufficient. Say import rice cry fi bibiaba. He is a Ghanaian, former member of parliament for Chifu Etimokwa, Honorable Abraham Jumodu. Ono and leading that drive our Nigeria and produce that amount of rice na a showcase. Now we share the heap of rice na showcase na. It's just mind-boggling. So you wonder why we can't do it. You wonder why we have to go through this process. You wonder why, as a nation, the young ones lose trust in the system. To the extent say, China faced this same situation in the early 80s and late 80s. Chinese government banned the importation of certain vehicles into China, and that was ostensibly to build the automobile industry in China. And the China cars, Yehu Ghana, Yehu Ford, Great Wall, and several other brands of Ghana. And the tipper trucks are Ghana first. Now, tipper truck is a man diesel, and the Benz, and then trucks say yeg more Ghana, tipper trucks say yeg more Ghana. About 80% are Chinese trucks, whole trucks, and and these trucks are built to last. Go to the construction companies, and you stress companies who import large quantities of these foreign trucks. Just a few companies in the importing trucks, and likely your companies contract you had more companies produce those trucks and top trucks and the way Ghana. But most of the trucks you see in Ghana are building our routes, are building our construction industry. Chinese trucks. But in a short while ago, China cars are already China. Pabwa Chalote so we China, but and then China for you. How they got here was that the Chinese government decided, say, yeah, makwam ye imported nyama wuro bi a yebetumi aye. Even though ye fi ase aye no, enye that quality. But ye bekɔ so amanage ayusua kosi say ye be perfect no. And now China is producing vehicles, serious vehicles, saloon cars, even electric cars for the international market. Go to the US, go to the UK. Chinese car industry are hitting the US and the UK market. Go to Belgium, Germany. There are Chinese cars that are being bought there. But you can imagine, there are Nissan, Yamaha, and all the other vehicles. Toyota, Kia, all produce vehicles in Western countries. No. But Chinese cars are now competing with American cars and European cars in the world market. And that was a deliberate decision by the Chinese government. Say, ombe produce omodieno. Ombe di kan use until so ombe perfectino. Then they can start importing. Ghanaian policymakers, African policymakers, yenwunisa. At Ghana, government agency beer in your casa, your Kantanka vehicles. So I'm going to come to the Kantanka vehicle saga because maybe I show pictures of vehicles. Kantanka a producer, a bit me competing with all vehicles on the international market, and I'm going to prove to you, say, young ones are more discounted the ability of the Kantanka vehicle to compete on the market. I'm going to let you know, say, these are things I was say very careful about. I was say building trust and faith in ours. Now you might need a call. I don't know why people still have doubts about these Kantanka cars. But to be honest, ABA policymakers and ABA company Nankasanso make conscious effort say obetimi aton cars into the minds and people of Ghana. Say they be obetimi produce cars for the Ghanaian market. Maybe we need to look at it. But for those who are discounting the capability of the Kantanka vehicles, how can anyone tell me, say, this vehicle, I mean, show was screening, this particular vehicle, ain't mean to come in free Enco UK by land. This is one of the Kantanka vehicles. Here is another one. This is a pickup truck. This pickup truck in Podier, Omia Yache, because Minimobia will used to be since by 2013. I will use to car. This particular pickup truck weigh one of the very first pickup trucks a design. Look at this one. Look at this beautiful pickup truck. This is a beauty. And one thing about these cars at Kantanka they are built for the Ghanaian market. That's even the good part. Because Omo Ghana hunting one share in terrain and build the cars for the Ghanaian market. And this pickup truck, and only Toyota Tundra, would you see where? Because Toyota Tundra was built outside Ghana, this pickup Toyota Tundra way. I don't think so. Look at this Kantanka vehicle, beautiful vehicle, and we shall catch them say, we NSI US Chinese for the fall Great War now use our Utini Sukra to move the engine no crime, the moon and Can you tell me that this truck, which is a 4x4, four vehicle, and a Great War and vehicle, and this has no dead vehicle, and your papa look at this one, this way and another nature earlier on. This is the pickup vehicle. I'm designing to say a year Toyota. This is even stronger and better than the Toyota Hilux. Ain't even compete with the international vehicles now. Look at this very small car. I'm designing to say Kia Morin. And the good thing they say, when say be a washer with TV so way our engine. Okay, you were the combustible engine there, and now one the electric engine at the end, which has a long range. And this car will and then you Toyota Vitz and for home use one, you tunnel for almost 100,000 Ghana cedis. This is there. Let's look at another one. This is the Kantanka K71, a semi four-wheel drive. Very beautiful car. Share the range of vehicles are. And will you tell me that these vehicles, because I have Ghana hunting, me and travel and quickly. When put here, say because a luxury vehicle, with here, the intention is a for and a limousine type and building. So let's just skip this one. Where the new beer waiting to be. Look at this saloon vehicle. But me catch him said this vehicle no Hyundai Accent no any Hyundai i10 no better than this one just because it was built in Ghana. This one be the achiro dada. And look at this serious SUV. Way any Toyota Land Cruisers no more and they're competing. And Ubetmia catch him said this one is not better. And if not better, can compete with the Toyota Land Cruisers. Way idea will be at all registered since 2017. Ubusu Eyusu. And this is a beautiful car. We need other cars show 94 no, very beautiful vehicle. These are cars built by Kantanka and yet very durable cars. And looking at it, Otokra Hadiano, you are not buying it home used, you are buying it brand new to use for a very long time. Celebrities in Biblia to be Obitisa Acrobato Kra, I say Autonediano. The family can say, oh, Kantanka car, the American Toby. Well, maybe Acrobato Apostle Kujosafo editing intino. Ebia, his heart was geared towards to helping Apostle Kujosafo to also succeed. But on one Kasanu Masima, what can I say? He has never regretted buying the Kantanka vehicle. So will you ever sit down somewhere and tell me, say, these vehicles are, but they actually vehicles are intimate to quite enko baby. Kia morning num free Korea plan, we use them in Ghana. And the worry I'm getting is that the younger ones expect to say, believe and trust in themselves. They are the ones who are making these comments. A very worrying thing ever. And we need to disabuse the young ones now from following this trend. It will never help us. So I better rely on other people's produce. Not only this, let me show you a vehicle that has been produced in Uganda. Ugandan made buses are Ebia Electric, Omuyusu, Uganda. And I'm going to show you some of these buses. Okay? Alright, so this bus I may show to you a bus made in Uganda. This is a very beautiful bus made in Uganda. Into what you know, be catch say Africa ha bibia papa bi antimi free Africa hamba. Minia Sinihu. All these buses are made in Uganda. They are Uganda made. Uko India, Tata buses are over your streets. They are made in India. Ebi make because you Tata bus there say India for start producing buses and yende. Abra Tata buses e ba Ghana hano. Net is saying, nani feti saying. And you know said the Tata any Mercedes Benz agreement omo portions of their buses ni bi onma omo collaborating on their buses now. And if are you telling me say yentimi and develop yen automobile industry no Africa ha. These are all buses that have been made in Uganda, and these are being driven on the streets of Uganda. Meaning say perhaps other countries are buying some of their buses, and previously years back na Ghana hanso na ye produce buses wa ha new plan buses no na ye nto emfia buchire omo de ba na omo abaya assemble ewo Ghana ha. And it is not only Uganda that is producing buses. Yenhwe cars are omo produce ewo Nigeria. Some of the cars that are being produced in Nigeria called innocent vehicles, innocent vehicle motors. All right, so this particular car is produced in Nigeria by all Nigeria. And ushe we nim now share how this car is built. But me catch me say Nizam Patrol omo ye na say no ebi better sin we na. And there is this story or say Sierra Leone military buys innocent vehicles worth $4.7 million. Sierra Leone or minor akoto innocent vehicles omo produce ni bi, and I'll send you the picture. I'll show you the picture very soon. Omo ato innocent vehicles bi at the ama or military for now look at this one, innocent vehicle motors. If you look at this now, we share G-Wagons a free Germany, any other places yet or now. What difference will you tell me say a year between this vehicle any G-Wagon? And will you tell me say because G-Wagon is made from Germany, any other place in Tino, this car is not durable? Innocent small cars. So this particular vehicle one of the vehicles that has been produced by Innocent Vehicles in Nigeria, and these are durable cars, beautiful cars are wamaye ewo Africa ha. Ebinom ato use for a very long time. But me musa question o, what you say cars omo produce any cars papa inti anka company no, they will continue to exist and they would have been dead by now. These companies would never have been available, or their factories would never have been available as we speak now. But they are there and people are buying these vehicles. So why do we discount our own? Why do we look down upon things that have been produced in Ghana, Africa, and other places? There is supposed to be a conscious effort put in place to reactivate the faith and trust in the African youth, and to come close to Ghanaian youth to have the ability to do things for themselves. I know when it comes to software development, there are so many Ghanaian youth are software developers. The Soft Tribe is one company that produces and develops software, a lot of software. I have worked with them before, not as a software developer, but as a driver. Way back in 1996, when I used to drive Herman Chinwehesi, the executive director, or say the founder of the Soft Tribe. Then now only Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson was a partner of Herman Chinwehesi. I used to work with them, and even in those days, not companies like Malcolm when they were starting, and several companies were Ghana use software. Would you say software don't produce or Ghana and develop or Ghana? They are not good. There are many companies that are using the software produced by the Soft Tribe to strive. So will you say because they were developed in Ghana and yeah, papa? I have friends who also develop software, but will you say they are not good? Let us begin to have faith and trust in our own things that we do here in Ghana, and that is the way to go. Because Nientia and Sid no follow against foreign currency now based on the fact yedieni akoto abrofonyama, so things that are produced outside, and we don't have trust and faith in our own, and that is the reason why these things are happening. There are companies in Ghana that produces uniforms, shirts, trousers, and one year we are is the same issue. 1 year we are because Ghana for any mre yempe yeniamantino, they rather export it outside. They take it outside. If you know how much change the where they are made in Ghana, no, made in US, made in Hase, and almost ship it and they outside. Can you believe? Say Switzerland and the cocoa, but Switzerland is the world leading producer of chocolate. Where do they get their cocoa? They buy the cocoa from Africa, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire. In actual fact, and now omoko eco pieces. If we are Ghana, if we have aqua top the omo pieces in if you have. What kind of people are we as a nation? What kind of people are we as a nation? Brian Nim said, producing chocolate is so easy. Confectionaries in Ghana here some of them produces chocolate. Cocoa drink no is rather good than I say binum. But Nestle Ghana, a branch of the global Nestle network now. Chocolate produce cocoa, Ghana cocoa. And they produce Milo, any other things are you talk our Ghana Haniedino. They are produced here. And it's a Uji Melody, now to Melodia. I don't think I want to mean your cars here or Ghana handy because they are made in Ghana. This is the time I was say you're making a conscious effort to revitalize the faith and trust in the Ghanaian youth. This is the time I was say your politicians no but young people like us, some of us, I was saying coming together. Now you're conscientizing the youth, getting to know, say, the youth are capable of doing a lot. Now, if we don't have faith and trust in the thing that we are producing ourselves, how can we expect that the country will grow? We can never grow with that kind of mentality. But it requires a conscious effort from you and I to conscientize the youth about that. Yes, Nyamani any be honumwa, nibo by din because of exchange rate. No, Nyama my wife producing be chemicals ni be honuma. Ye cra the raw material no if you are bruching a bagana ha and almost they produce what they produce. Yes, it's true. It be ha nibo no wedding, but as compared to what is coming from outside, no, ye dear no, papa. And even that, whilst we buy our own, sikan kia de bekwa bruchino, the money stays in Ghana. Because we then will not need to put money together to buy dollars. at a higher cost to go and buy these things from outside. It is time to make that conscious effort. Bloggers should begin thinking about blogging on some of these issues. That is what I'm going to do on 4 Stars Radio and TV and a GH Smart News TV soon, because every now and then I'm going to put people together, interview people who are producing and making these innovations here in Ghana. Send you buy a bit more conscientize youth, no me say ampa yenso ye will be. We can do something, and it's only done, or we can only achieve that when we begin to trust in what we are producing. That is the only way we can do it. Yes, you be produce bi ebi be bad abrochire omo produce cars no obeti you say Toyota records about 1.2 million cars because of airbag. Omumpo, they make mistakes and yet they correct them. So why can't we allow ourselves to make our mistakes and correct those mistakes and perfect what we are doing? Technophones ba Ghana hano na yam kiti net say getting bi na ba ye about from me to be. But now the kind of phones are Techno a producer. Infinix, the same thing. Itel, a buyer near the chokra wonji. But you see the kind of phones that Itel a producer. Abra Samsung, any Apple, a create your phones, iPhones, ni Samsung phones no. Na enye papa tisenia ene yehunubu. Okay? Yawa Ghana ha, papa bi efe Roland Agambiri started the production of phones and laptops our Ghana ha. Yedi anu sinu ho just because of one mistake. Yedi anu sinu ho kosi say or fold you up. Inti Roland Agambiri started the production of those mobile phones. Your friend is I'll find the name of those mobile phones, any laptops, and because of one mistake, Yan said the progress. Do you know? Said that time, now Itel, any Techno, they were not in the system. But what did we do to it? Let us not destroy our own. People can make mistakes, but let us not base on the mistake. Now yan kill businesses, yan fire and cast and papa and for the things that we are producing in our country. Let's patronize them. Let's move ahead and support small businesses that are producing a lot of stuff in the country. It is only by so doing and you bet me progress. Now mine it's me ye politicians no one semka ya bromo is a no mudino adoso. Let's leave the politicians. When elections are over, the politicians what we need to put them on their toes to do, they say the policies papa a bit me aboa na your business it's me fester na it's me that those are the only things that we need to preach to make sure some produce policies are a bit me aboa na yan so your business here it's me tumpo. That is the only thing we can do. But see kasi dia no be see businesses I destroy business. Oh na mpaboa anye, oh na nsuo no oton anye, and away na ye bet na ye fa ho saa ahokyere no bekoso. Let us stop talking back or talking bad on the things that we produce in Ghana and Africa. Let's promote them. However bad they are, let's continue to encourage them. They will perfect it. Say I encourage you normal perfect here. We will never move ahead. It's a worry, and that's why I came your way today to talk to you about it. And look out, because I'm going to bring more people for us to have such discussions. I'm going to go out to talk to people who are producing, who are making the effort to invent things in Ghana here, in Africa here, to help us be able to take our destiny into our own hands. Mpacho, and any dedicated I will hear 4 Stars Radio and TV, and I will hear GH Smart News TV. You should subscribe to the channel. Now hit the notification button. Now we have a lot more to give you. Notification no beboa. My dropping new content we are waiting in your coin. Now watch me. So and then come idea. If you have any comments, what do you mean? You can also type it there. You buy any bedi home come on. You back in kind. Near Adrian home. Near require bit me a faso to move Ghana forward. Share my from so into me febi. Na like it my na yenina yamboa ye ho na Ghana my intimi tumpo bidi at the Black Sam. Let's build Ghana together. Thank you very much. I'll see you in my next video.